Hey guys, how are you doing today? This is the probably the ninth video of the tutorial series on TablePress, which is a nice and wonderful WordPress plugin by using which you can create nice and beautiful tables like this one. This may not look that much pretty because the font selection has not been appropriate for this site, I guess. That's why it doesn't look so pretty. If the font selection was okay, it would actually be a great table, very nice looking table. Anyway, so only a few options left, and I hope I can cover these options, one or two options maybe. I'm not going to go through each and everything because I am not expert on every option that's depicted here. So within this 10 minutes or maybe let's say 9 minutes of time, I guess I will be able to cover the rest of two or three options. Okay, so stick with me. So the next option is pagination. It says it's selected by default. Enable pagination of the table by the visitor, viewing only a certain number of rows at a time. Show 10 rows per page. At most 10 rows per page, not more than that. Okay, that could be less rows per page, but not more than 10 pages. Okay, so the pagination thing is enabled by default, and that's why, as you can see, if we scroll down this pagination thing, no need to scroll down. Show 10 entries. That is the pagination thing. Is it the pagination thing? I hope so. Okay, so how about we, let's try to change here. No, not 100. Oh, I guess I cannot delete this, right? I cannot set it to 3 or 5. Either 10 or 25 or 50 or 100. Unfortunately, this table has only 4 or 5 items. 4 items, 5 items to be precise. Anyway, so showing 1 to 4 or 4 entries. Since we have set the top row as the header. That's why it is not only bold, but also it is out of the count. So now we have 4 row entries, 1, 2, 3, 4, and showing 1 to 4 or 4 entries. Show 100 entries? No. If we click here, we can select one from either 10 or 25 or 50 or 100. 10 is enough. Okay, so this particular thing is called pagination. If I disable this and click save changes, let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to refresh this page, and I believe that this show 10 entries thing, it will disappear. It will disappear. Okay, give it a little bit of time and let's see what happens. Not to worry about. Yes, this is the same table. I just cannot control the scrolling up and scrolling down thing. Seems like I'm a newcomer, a newbie in the era of computer. It shows the search box fine, but it does not show the entries. Like no, entries is here fine. How many rows will we show? That does not show here. So you know why? Because we have really disabled the pagination thing. Now the next option is pagination length change. Allow the visitor to change the number of rows shown when using pagination. Yes, because I could change, but I need to save the changes once again. The preview is not working, that's why this is so much problem. So yes, I have to reload the page, otherwise it may not work. I will come back in a short. Okay, I have come back, and as you can see, show 10 entries. If I click here, yes, why don't you show? I'm trying to show you, but you are not showing. Okay, I click here and I can choose between 25, 50, 100. Let's choose 50. Yes, now it shows 50. It does not show 50 because there are not 50 items around here. If there was like 60 items or 100 items, and if I chose 50, and the first 50 items would have been shown here. So this particular thing, I can change this to 10 or 25 or 50 or even 100. This particular thing is called pagination length change. If I uncheck this box and save changes and reload the page, and let's see what happens. Okay, the table has fully loaded, but the show 10 or 25 that is not present here. So I don't know, I wonder why it has totally gone, because the pagination is enabled but the pagination length change is disabled. So let me enable this one, and let me disable pagination and save changes, and let me do this thing. Let me see what happens. The page is fully loaded, fine, but let me show you once again. Pagination change, length change is disabled, but pagination is enabled. So now, since pagination is enabled, that's why you get to see previous, next. But you need to enable both the pagination length change and pagination thing enabled to see the things that you saw a little few moments ago, like here 10 or 25 or 50 entries. Okay, so if you disable this thing as well, let me tell you this. Let me refresh this page, and let me warn you, this particular thing will also disappear. Okay, so you hold on a moment and see. Okay, the page has fully loaded, and as you can see, since pagination is also disabled along with pagination length change, that's why you do not see any previous next here. And you can notice that if this is disabled, you cannot enable this one. Okay, so but by default both these things are enabled. The next thing is info. Enable the table information display with information about the currently visible data, like the number of rows. What is this thing? This is actually this particular thing. Says showing 1 to 4 or 4 entries. This thing is actually table info. Okay, if this is disabled, let me disable this thing, and then okay, it has it saved changes. I guess it has. Now I need to refresh this particular page. Okay, now you can see that since that particular info is disabled, that's why showing 1 to 4 or 4 entries, this text is not present here. And one nice thing to, maybe you already know it, you can not only edit this particular page, test page, which is test page, but you can also edit the table from here. Okay, this is the very beautiful thing. Okay, but the thing is that this information thing, you need to enable this. It is enabled by default, so enabling this is actually a good practice. So last thing is horizontal scrolling. Enable horizontal scrolling to make viewing tables with many columns easier. I do not know why this thing is not enabled by default. It should be, because how many columns do we have in our table? Only 5 columns. If there was like 10 columns, maybe 15 columns, by enabling this option, the option just I showed you a few moments ago, you can actually scroll from left to right or left to right to left to see any particular column you like to view. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial series, which is on TablePress. And lastly, I will be saving changes. Fine, and you cannot say that I have not implemented the table on a page, because I have. This is a new page. Also, I'm not going to publish it exactly. This is actually was for demonstrated purposes. I have created this page and I have post my table here. Okay, so until the next time, have a great day and let me know about your feedback. Thank you.